How y'all doing? The ones that's on this live coaching session and the ones that will watch the pre-recorded live coaching session. I just want to say welcome to all of you guys. I just also wanted to add, I don't know if everybody was on here, maybe y'all was when I asked if everybody had already lit their coal. If they didn't, then now would be the perfect time to do it. And that way, before we get ready to put the sacred smoke on there, the coals will be ready to go. So again, I want to welcome y'all to this space. You guys can go ahead and grab your sacred smoke and place it on your coal really quickly. I'm just gonna stand up and do it here. Y'all ready to do this prayer so we can go ahead and start? Everybody can just bow your head for me and close your eyes. With intentional surrender, we flow into the wisdom of our inner waters. With each breath, we embody the river's fluidity, navigating the depths of our emotions, creativity, and pleasure. We connect to the divine spirit of all, the sacred water forces, earth guardians, and our guiding ancestors, for this space is a sanctuary of trust, safety, and sacred expression. As we honor rising emotions, allowing them to flow like the ocean's tide, ever changing, not stagnant. As we gaze into the sacred mirrors of our souls, we will continue to reveal hidden truths, freeing ourselves from repression and self-denial. With each reflection, we rekindle our creative flame. With each breath, we welcome our sacred passion. With every word, we dissolve shame, embracing our full expression. We are open, we are receptive, and we are powerful. Repeat after me. I am free to feel.
I am free to feel.
I am free to create.
I am free to create.
I am free to express.
I am free to express.
Ashe, Aho.
Ashe, Aho.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So before we get into the reflection questions and stuff like that, I want to ask, some of y'all about y'all week with the sacral chakra. But before we do, I just want to ask y'all a couple questions. And when you know the answer, just unmute the mic and just go ahead and answer. So this week we're on the sacral chakra. What color represents the sacral chakra?
Orange.
Right.
Yes, orange. There you go. Boop, 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 boop. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah. And so where is the sacral chakra located?
2 inches below the belly button.
Yeah.
That's it.
What organs is connected to the sacral chakra?
Reproductive organs.
Yeah. Reproductive organs. You got the lower back, you got the pelvis area, you got the bladder.
Kidneys.
Yeah, kidneys. All of that is connected to the sacral chakra. Heather, you are already your mic is already unmuted. So can you just tell me how this sacral chakra showed up for you this week?
Oof. TMI, but I went to the bathroom a lot.
Mm-hmm. That's
all
not
the time.
We supposed
It's
to bathroom.
okay. Yeah, it was a lot. I was releasing a lot. I had a I struggled a lot with my feelings and my emotions, and um yeah, I learned a lot about myself and how I process my emotions, but um I feel like I was a little bit all over the place. I would really start to process and dig in, and then it would just trail away because I know that I don't want to go there. So I would recoup, make me something to drink or whatever, come back and start over. So I did process a lot, but I feel like there's a lot I left undone.
Mhm.
But it was a good week. It was it was really good week. It was difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, like I told y'all, when you are intentionally working on a specific chakra, like for real, that chakra is gonna show up. You're moving with intention with the foods that you eat, the color that you wear,
Mhm.
the meditation that you're listening to, the mirror work that you're doing. It's all intentional. It's all intentional. So, thank you for being
Mhm.
transparent
Yeah.
in that, because
Mhm.
that's important for real. Like, that's how you get free. Like, it's time out for trying to hide. It's time out for trying
Right.
to run, because you not hiding from nobody but yourself. You not running
Right.
from nobody but yourself.
And
So,
I didn't really realize how much I was running. Um, so it was an eye opener, and I have a better understanding of how to really go in.
Mm.
hmm,
Mhm.
that's good.
It
Okay.
seemed like a whole lot. It seemed like it was just so much. It's just so much.
Mhm.
And it was overwhelming, and I'd have to just walk away from it.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, the sacral chakra is also connected to the emotional bodies. So, you know, you
Fear,
definitely
guilt,
tap
shame.
into your
It
emotions.
was punching me in the face. I mean, it was beating me up.
Uh, yeah. Okay, well, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna get, more into it. Thank you for that. If you can
Mhm.
go ahead and mute your mic. Um, Janetta, if you can unmute your mic, if you don't sound like a robot, then can you just let me know how this sacral chakra showed up for you this week?
I'm like Heather, it was a lot. And how did it show up? It showed up in a lot of different ways. Obviously emotionally, going in and really sitting with the questions that you had given us, the worksheet questions and the reflection questions.
Mm-hmm.
Was a lot, and so I reflected a lot on a lot of like my childhood traumas and things that I maybe did not face as a child, as it pertains to like sexual trauma, and how that's trapped, or how that energy can be trapped in the sacral area, in the hips and stuff like that. So I definitely cried and released a lot, journaled a lot. There were some times that I felt very, very vulnerable um, with myself, but just allowing myself to feel that vulnerability. And I did a lot of the mirror work. I took my mirror work to the bathroom, because at first I was doing my mirror work like just in my altar space with a little mirror.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, let me take it to the bathroom. And that's when I really, really felt like that shift of the transparency and the fluidity of who I am as a spirit being. So I really saw like my face just kind of like morph, if you will, because I only had a small candle burning as I was doing the mirror work, and then I would just like pick out 2 affirmations from each section that you've given us.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was about the multi-dimensional self. and like drawing in the wisdom and things. And when I tell you, I could literally see like my face become water and glass almost. And then I started to just like feel a lot of support of my ancestors all around me. So it was very beautiful, but definitely a struggle because I had to keep. I know who I was before, and I celebrate all the different women that I've been in my life. But I know a lot of those different women that I've been was about everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And making everybody else happy and finding enjoyment in everybody else, and never really took time to really sit with like what truly, truly made me happy and what did I enjoy. So dealing with that, also dealing with like being a single woman and trying to rediscover who I am as a single woman and not looking outside of myself for the intimacy and the love and the affection and validation and all those different things, but being okay with, giving myself that. So that was something that I didn't realize I kind of ran from and didn't deal with, especially like just being a sacred woman. I tell people all the time, being a sacred woman is not necessarily being celibate, but it's just knowing your body and knowing that it's okay to give your body the attention that it needs, your spirit or whatever. And so yeah, just really moving through all of these like waves of emotion and learning how to just ebb and flow and love wherever I am in the flow of life. And sometimes it's okay to be scared. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel hurt. So yeah, the sacral chakra is one of my favorites. The sacral and the solar plexus I love because I feel like that's where that really inner work goes down. So yeah, it was deep.
The thing is, I want y'all to hear something key that she said. She said at first she was in her room and at her altar, and she had the handheld mirror, still a portal, right? But when you speak into the portal inside the portal, where there's also another portal, the toilet, it gets deep. That's where she started to see the difference in what it is, the mirror work. When she said that she did the hand, I was like, why she ain't going to the bathroom? Why she ain't going to the bathroom? That's what my mind says. Why she didn't go automatically just go in the bathroom? But she was like, I went in the bathroom. And now she see the difference. Is there anybody else that would look in a handheld and then go and look in a mirror and be able to see the difference? You could too. Okay.
And the restroom is really a place of cleansing. It's a place of releasing. You really think about all of the major things that happen in that space. You're cleaning your body. You're there releasing waste. You're detoxifying and releasing unwanted, right, things that are wasteful, unuseful things. So you're releasing, and it opens you up. That water, standing over that shower head, or just being in the tub, or just in the sink, that's a form of purification, right? So it's very symbolic, but it's also energetically charged for that purpose and that reason.
This week was very vulnerable for me because I have been trying to release the control over how my life looks in the creative space, because I enjoy so many different forms of creation. And because I am in a transition in my life right now where I'm deciding what do I do next in my creative space, I needed to I needed to be vulnerable.
Right.
And this week I spoke with people I wasn't planning to speak with, or speaking to myself in a way that I haven't done before, to where I stripped this facade or this image that I'm okay, or that I'm strong, or that I know everything, because I don't. And with that allowed me to be able to trust myself, to first know that it's okay to feel that way, then to allow myself to trust myself and my feelings too, and that I'm allowed to sit in that.
Yeah.
And that really helped me for sure. So I would say, again, it was very emotional. It was a lot of releasing and purging, and even with the mirror work, I recognize that I can look at myself, but I'll see flaws, you know, and to sit there and just go through the mirror work confidently and looking at myself without having to nitpick. I struggle with that in the beginning of this week, but I released that. And I'm like, this is me. This is wholeheartedly me, and I love me. And I have to speak positively to myself in order for me to feel that as well.
Yes, for sure.
That was me.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. One thing that I noticed this week, y'all remember how on the worksheets I say have you guys do a body scan, right? And so body scan, you just pay attention to your body, you know, for the week when you're working on, you know, that chakra. And so for me, I noticed that my bladder was cramping, right? I had cramping in my bladder. I said, damn, where did this cramping come from in my bladder? And I thought about it. I said, oh, I had one of those sparkling waters. And Spirit been telling me to drink more regular water.
Yeah, spring.
Right? Regular water. Drink you some regular water. And I was like, I won't ready for the I'm ready to burp. I'm ready for that. You know what I'm saying? And I drank it anyway. And later on, my stomach was cramping. It hurt to walk to the bathroom. And the next morning I woke up, my bladder was still hurting. And I started drinking water. I said, I'm gonna drink water all day. All day. I'm drinking water all day. And I drank water all day. And then here come dinner time. My bladder feeling real right and tight. I was like, well,
you go right back to it. Wow.
I just do one more sparkling water and I'm gonna be good. Y'all know what happened, right? The same thing happened. It wasn't as bad, had me hunched over, but it was enough to be like,
I said what I said.
Body scan. So like y'all seeing me drink, this is water. This is just straight up water. I got it like this because I don't want to drink it out of a cup, knock it over. You know how, you know, don't want to knock stuff over. So I got it in a little
little sippy.
Little sip, right? A little sippy cup. You know what I'm saying? But it's important to, when you're working on these chakras, to really pay attention to the sensations along, you know, with your body, even when you say certain things to yourself. You know, where did you feel that? Where did you feel it in your heart? Did you feel it in your head? Did you feel it in your gut? Did you feel it in your back? Like where did the sensation, you know, hit you at? And then take note. And then that's a part of your integration. That's how you go in to figure out like what's really and truly, you know, going on with y'all. What hidden aspects of yourself were revealed this week through the mirror work, and how did it make you feel?
This whole week is a feminine week. The whole week is, when you pay attention to the words that the girls just used, surrender and vulnerability. What are those? Those are emotions of the feminine side. And this whole week just being one, becoming a woman. For me personally, becoming my feminine self. And this was hidden. This was hidden, to answer the question, and the veil just dropped. And throughout the week, trusting the woman's intuition, which I discovered within myself, I realized that in my mom, and that my mother was suppressed. For a boy, mother is the feminine, right? The divine feminine subconsciously. So throughout her life, how suppressed she was, I realized how suppressed my feminine side is, and how suppressed my father's masculine because of that. And where they both hurt each other, and yet they became coexistent of each other as well. The whole week is just one intuition. 50%, 51%, I'm certain what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And did not really know what I was doing throughout the week, but relied on my heart. I didn't use logic at all, which is masculine. I wanted to rely only on the heart, feminine. And yesterday and today, the main things that held me down for 35 years, just I saw a physical veil on your life last night, beyond the veil, 7 chakras, 12 dimensions. You keep saying the veil, veil, veil. I saw a physical veil just went down. And the person that I was projecting onto, that I thought had all the answers, all the all the answers for my life's problems as far as the person to be in love with, I held that externally into onto another person, which was when the veil went down, I saw myself behind that veil as an ego speaking into my own ear, pretending to be that person that I projected onto in the mirror. And the veil went down, and I saw myself realizing, oh, I am that perfect woman that I imagined into another that's within me. And now I am free. And just like that, fucking just this shit drops, mic drops, adios. I don't know. I'm happy as a kid. I hope everybody feels this. I feel like every woman, I'm curious about gentlemen to hear how gentlemen feel throughout this week because I've never thought what it is to feel a woman, to be a woman. And yoga session that you suggested uh, showed today for me how strong the feminine actually is. The positions that women were going through are just me and another guy, dead, everybody dead. And women just flowing through effortlessly because it's not about thinking how this shit works. It's about heart, how it feels, and doing the splits, the fucking air stands, one hand stands. And the guys try to use logic, which is masculine, to explain this shit. Love cannot be explained. Throughout the whole week from Monday, the universe showed up as a woman. All my emotions showed up as a woman. All of them in my own subconscious. When we say, Zeno, what do you always bring everybody into? That we all have to end it up in what? Unity. Unity is a woman. The god is a woman and she is black. There's a story about a lost astronaut who went into space and it was so black in there. When he came back from the mission, they asked him, "Have you met God?" He said, "Yes." "What did you see?" "She's a woman and she's black," because you can see shit. And he just feel. It's all about feel, nothing to think. And that's my short answer to this question. I have so much respect and gratitude to all of you women. Shit, it felt so great to be a woman this week. I'm not gonna lie. I dressed different. I felt different. I did what I wanted to do. I said fuck everybody else. I had time of my life this week. I had time of my life. And reading what the rest of the weeks look like, I cannot even imagine how this 7 week retreat is gonna end. Yeah.
So no, thank you, Alex, for that.
Thank you, Alex. Christy, you can answer that same question.
I guess the mirror work had me kind of get out of my ego and kind of like Alex said, like more into my feminine, which Vision, you had told me before, like you got to get out of that masculine because I always have to make things happen. I got to make decisions. I got to make the world go round. And so like it's hard for me to step out of the masculine and into the feminine where I'm letting life happen. I'm letting things and I'm just being. So a lot of times and I am a very creative person. I love to create. So I wrote this down. I said a lot of times when I create, I let ego push away the shine. Like I don't let myself shine too much because I don't like I do like a little self check and I'd be like, oh, that's ego. Like I can't shine too much. So it's two layers to it. Like too much in the masculine and then not letting my cosmic universal downloads shine. Like we should be shining. And it's not because we in our ego. It's because we lit. So like, and I say it all the time, but it was like a real revelation that it's like, wait, hold on a minute. Like all this that you've been saying, it just like unlocked something that it's not, it's because we're multidimensional. It's not because it was like I wasn't in the ego, but I had to figure out that I had to stop judging myself. Like, so there you have it. And I had to also say that like just because other people have done it before, done anything before, it won't be like what I do because I've been put here for a purpose and my light's supposed to shine however it does, and I'm supposed to show up how I do.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
good right there. Thank you,
Yeah.
Christy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Brandon.
The universe is perfect. So, what Chris just said, one of the affirmations start ringing true to me. Merging, when it spoke about merging your shadow self, right? I think oftentimes, especially in this working through the journey, you tend to believe that you're supposed to suppress that shadow, right? While doing the shadow work. And so that wholeheartedly resonated with me. But to answer the question, a hidden aspect that was revealed through this week's mirror work was the spiritual aspect of emotional control, which I feel speaks more so to the subconscious aspect of emotions. At the start of the week, I had an interaction that made me feel there's still much work to be done in the realm of emotional mastery. Um, and it was with my team lead at work, right? And understanding and knowing my value, at my current job, right? I've had meetings all the way up the ladder dealing with compensation. And I laid my cards on the table face flat. I'm meeting with the senior director at this point, face up, right? Trying to let him know that ultimately this corporate veil is one ply tissue thin to me. Like it's not even a veil, bro. Like what I'm dealing with spiritually, like I've moved on. You see what I'm saying? That's not even a veil for real to me, right? And I tried to let them know that, and they still dancing behind it, right? Okay, fine. And so I thought I had internalized it and dealt with it, right? Fast forward to Monday morning, right? Even beyond the fact that we off little sleep at that point, it was something that he addressed me on, an error that I made. And because of what I thought I had dealt with or internally, and it wasn't quite dealt with all the way, I wasn't able to take accountability for the error like I typically would because I checked him, right? And I was like, well, whatever happens from that happens, you know what I mean? But I pretty much let him know, like, you don't, ultimately, all you have to do is let me know what the error was. We don't have to go into a deep dive into why, and all that type of thing. But when typically that type of conversation wouldn't have gave me that same emotional reaction, ultimately. And in reflection, right, when I'm journaling, I'm like, wow, okay, so really hadn't dealt with it yet. And I didn't give myself an opportunity to truly deal with the emotion behind it. You know what I mean? And then the other aspect about from dealing with the sacral chakra, the free flowing of emotions, I was able to convey that to him the next day and letting him know, listen, my response, this is the reason for why my response came out like it did. Nonetheless, we dealt with that. I was able to reflect on it, and it let me know, like, yeah, dude, you might all the emotional intelligence you might know and understand. There's another aspect to it, right? And if you ain't dealt with that spiritual side of it correctly and balance that out, you're not gonna get what you're looking for as far as emotional mastery. So,
But I'm glad that you were aware enough to be able to kind of hit the reset button and go inward.
yeah,
Just for all of you guys, going through this, that's where all the answers are. I already said this from the beginning. When you taking this course, you done signed up for it. What's going to happen, if you really take this seriously, is you're going to end up confronting some dark areas in and of your life that either you were unaware of or you were aware of and you were afraid to come face to face with them.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is what you're doing. But by doing that and pushing through, you'll be able to then get the jewel, get the gem. It's like, you know, an action movie where a king and his men go in a cave, the dragon's cave, where everybody then marked the X on the map and said, this is where the treasure is. You got to go through there. You got to deal with that dragon. And if you push through it, you're going to come out with the spoils. And so having that ability to be able to just take a deep breath, deep dive internally, because that's where it's at, and go, man, I got a whole lot more shit I got to do. We all do.
Had nothing to do with him.
Right. Exactly.
Everything to do with me, to be honest.
Right.
So,
It was a you
yeah.
thing.
Amanda.
Ooh, okay. The hidden parts of me, aspects of myself, was really the sensual part. Identifying my sensuality, being raised by a single woman, single mom who was totally against us being or understanding our sexuality. When the conversations came to that, my mom was real direct. She was like, you fuck, you get pregnant. That's it, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
So being in a mindset of how you process that information and how you navigate yourself in life, and then being put in a church and being told what a holy woman should be like, you begin to suppress, well, I suppress my desires and my sensuality. And moving through life, it didn't necessarily stop me from being intimate, but it stopped me from understanding what exactly and how I showed up for me.
Mm-hmm.
So then it became, I controlled it to the point where when I did get married, my husband being attracted to me was overwhelming for me.
Mm-hmm.
And, ooh, am I about to cry? And there's a, you know, and I'm dealing with the embarrassment of it, of going and having a conversation, thinking that I was holy and righteous, and having a meeting, sitting across from what at that time I had placed on a pedestal, and saying that my husband needs deliverance because he's lusting after me. And to be told, you know, even in that, I didn't see me showing up as someone who could be easily manipulated, right? Because in other words, if you believe that, what else do you believe? So I couldn't go back to my mom because my mom had already set the foundation. And I moved in life like that. So as I express myself now, it took me a long time to know what I liked and what I didn't like. You know, and as a woman, and I was a jokester. So a lot of the ways that I got out of stuff was joking, right? But to confront myself was very, very difficult. to look at the shame and the misunderstanding of what sex really is, priding myself, oh, I didn't get pregnant at 14, 15, 16 years old, right? But was as clueless to sex and what it meant and how to express it. And then being sensual sexual, and it's sexual sensual, or hell, what is it? And then knowing what an orgasm was. I wasn't finna tell nobody at 30 years old, I don't know what the hell an orgasm is. Where we do that at? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm just in a space of suppressing, thinking I'm walking holy, and all of my hidden and not really understanding. I'm suppressing creativity. I'm suppressing who I am. So when I would get these amazing ideas and different things, I'm taking it to leadership, expecting them to validate, to tell me it's okay to walk in my creativity.
Woo.
And so to have to look myself in the mirror, it was so emotional because I thought I got over it. I thought I had, okay, I'm over that part. And then when I look in the mirror and I see how I showed up to my kids, you know, to people who looked up to me, and even to my husband, you know, it was I don't think I really was ready to see that part of me.
Mm-hmm.
But as I dealt with it, it was like a rush of mighty emotions. It was so much. And I had to come to a serious resolve. It was just a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that shit was crazy. It's crazy.
You want to speak on it?
Well,
Mm-hmm.
you definitely tapping into your emotional bodies this week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real.
So, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for being so vulnerable. Just, you know, when we walk in our truth and our vulnerability and we put ourselves out there, we have no idea how many people we truly helping. How many people feel the way that you feel, but don't feel vulnerable enough to even express it, especially in a group setting. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, this is the place to do it. This is the safe space to do it. And it looks like you're getting some, I don't know if people see the chat, but you're getting some love.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Through the chat.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, without interrupting, they're giving you love. That's a beautiful thing.
Saying thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? And yeah, I can't wait to really go through and address, you know, these things that y'all are bringing up. All in all, regardless, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Because
I know
we are moving in a different perspective, seeing ourselves in a different light that we didn't see ourselves before, because we just moving. Muscle memory. I gotta wake up, I gotta do this. I gotta wake up, I gotta do this. Gotta wake up, I gotta do this for this person. I gotta do this for this person. Oh, I only got enough time for me. Oh, I gotta do this. I gotta do this for that person. I gotta do this. I gotta go. But when you intentionally slow down and listen and put in some work, you're working and investing into the one that's saying, I gotta go. No. Fill your energy up first. And so we're gonna talk about it, you know, even more.
So initially when I read this, I'm when we were doing the mirror work this week and the work this week, I really wasn't resonating with the sacral chakra. I didn't feel anything until just listening to y'all. I was paying attention to Amanda and her stuff and watching her go through her stuff, right? But nothing was resonating with me until I had a conversation with Amanda earlier this evening, and then listening to y'all. And what I came up with, just being comfortable in my emotions. Because prior to this week, I used to say, I told Amanda earlier, I used to be lying to her, myself, and everybody around me about, yeah, I feel that, yeah, I feel it. No, and it was a lie. I wasn't feeling nothing. I was so used to being with these many faces on and being trying to be this hardness and not being comfortable in my emotions, not being able to speak it. And if I speak it, then I'm acting out. And then when I act out, I look crazy and people looking at me like, this boy look fucking crazy. All because I didn't let stuff bottled up in me. And then when I finally speaking it, it come out in a rush. But this week I was able to honestly, without knowing that I was doing it, sit back, and every day this week I just was sitting in my emotions, watching stuff. When I would go high, I was high. When I was low, I was low. But being able to sit low and not respond or walk away, or being able to go through the emotion and not be sad or be depressed or beat up on myself, because I've been doing that for so long. And just be like, yo, it's an emotion. I can have it. And I guess, like Alex said, being in that femininity, that feminine energy. And that's where it seemed like I was all week long, especially after the mirror work and just watching me throughout the day, being able to talk about it. Because before I wouldn't talk about it, talking about it with my friends back in the city. Nah, them niggas, they not trying to hear that. They just not. And then being here in Atlanta, it ain't too many people that I talk to like that other than people at work. And at work, I'm the leadership. So I can't really talk about emotions because I'm supposed to be the leader. I'm supposed to be telling them what to do. And that's what this week seems like. I spent a lot of time driving to from work, that little 20, 30 minutes, just being quiet, sitting with myself, having conversations with Amanda. I think, was it Thursday? Thursday, I woke up, and I think after meditation or later that day, I text all 6 of the children. I love you. I appreciate you. One of them texted me back. My son DJ said, "What's up, Dad? You all right?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah." And I told Amanda, I guess that's where I was operating from, because I never did that before. I just woke up and all of them, including the oldest one here. So that's what the hidden aspects I see. Being able to be comfortable in my emotions, being able to sit with them and work through them, and not have to put on these many faces of hiding and suppressing them.
Can I say something? Tonka used to say to me, I don't have the luxury to feel all that shit you feel. And I used to be like, even though you're not expressing it, I'm living in the circle of it, of not expressing it. So it's so interesting to see him doing this work, because I'm like, I asked him, I said, are you for real or you playing? Like
I say, you sincere, you sure?
like you for real? Because for 20 some years you talking about what? I told him, I said, yeah, I'm watching with both eyes and somebody else's, because I'm like, he has changed tremendously just in how he telling me how he feel. And I'm just like, I'm still watching. He definitely different. I can tell you that. I'm telling you, I be looking, I wake up and he sleep, I be like, he used to get to the point where he didn't want to hear what I had to say. Like, don't call somebody with that. Call somebody. I don't want to hear that. And now he listening and trying to help dissect.
Chrissy, I think you put your hand up a couple of times.
Can I say something just really quick? Because I want to, that's amazing, Tonka, what you said about how like you didn't have any, or you felt like you couldn't have emotions. I just wanted to say, like, a lot of like young boys or men, like, you guys are taught like from a very early age not to have emotions or not to show emotions. The work that y'all are doing here as adults, like if we could teach our babies just to feel, is okay to feel your feelings, and you'll be liberated, right? You changing and you making like your wife looking at you like, is this the same dude? Like, you know, the men that you're around, if you can liberate some men in your circle, that's gonna be a beautiful thing, because if that man get liberated, he can liberate another man and liberate another man, and that's how we're gonna save the world. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. You are all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just for some of us, it's within all of us. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fears, our presence automatically liberates others.
I'm gonna talk a little bit more about it, right? Because yeah, like, how dare you not think that you the stuff, right? How dare you not think, how dare you not know that you the stuff?
Mhm.
And a lot of times that comes from comparison, looking at other people and comparing yourself. Look at them. What about me? Right? Because what? We're all mirrors, mirror work. You look at somebody, you're going to reflect back to you what you feel. It's just as simple as that. And so we'll go a little deeper into that. Angie.
You gonna let me go after Amanda and Tonka? Whew, all right, let's see. That I didn't or have not felt like a sensual and passionate being because of being molested at a young age and in a relationship as an adult and being told that I should be over that by now. And it made me feel sad that I didn't feel like that, because I feel like at one point I did. But something that Amanda said when she said she didn't feel like she was easily manipulated, that resonated with me, because I'm like, I was manipulated, and didn't even realize that. So yeah, that part in the mirror work, it took me a long time to doing that particular affirmation was difficult. It got better throughout the week, but the fact that being taken advantage of at such a young age and carrying the guilt of that, and even carrying the guilt of not speaking up sooner and preventing it from happening to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Thank
Yeah.
you for being open and willing to divulge, that information. Because to keep it 100, you really didn't have to. You know what I mean? You really could have kept that to yourself. But I am grateful and thankful that you felt safe enough in this space to release that. And again, we're gonna go through and we're gonna address a lot of the things that you guys are speaking on. And I just want to say I appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. Again, get, you receiving love. You pay attention to the chat. Then you'll see that
Yeah, you
come
got
through.
some love
You
coming
got
in the chat. The point is to go through, experience these chakras, know what it's like to speak to yourself for that specific chakra, know how to move intentionally for that chakra, know what organs and stuff is connected, right? Know what's connected spiritually, so that when you done with this course, you can wake up this day and feel like, oh, I don't like the way I feel about myself. You know what? It's time to work on the solar plex chakra today. You know what I'm saying?
Because you can
Day,
pinpoint it. And
pinpoint day by day. Now you know you have the tools to move through how you need to move through, but you have to always be willing to look at yourself and pay attention. Don't be in denial on where you feel the stagnation. Because we are to be the master of ourselves. And so it's important to be able to connect to a thought and connect that to a feeling, and seeing where that feeling is, and seeing what is attached to that, what, your body and all of that, and be able to work through that. Okay.
That's what I'm learning. Yes. And I do want to say, I feel a responsibility to everyone here, to do my work, because y'all are helping me so much, so much. I hear y'all say stuff and I'm like, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
I couldn't have come to that on my own, So I appreciate this.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for acknowledging that, because that's a whole nother reason why the concept is put into this course, is that when you step to the plate and you bring that level of authenticity, then it's gonna automatically, right, be a healing a potion for somebody else, because you're being authentic and everybody's coming with the same mindset. Now we got a sacred space.
Yes.
For real.
For real.
Yeah.
Okay, Catherine, what hidden aspects of yourself was revealed this week during the mirror work, and how did it make you feel?
So this week life was life, and it was quite a week. And I do my mirror work in the bathroom. Last week I kind of was uncertain, because I'm like 10 seconds and connect with myself. Was a little bit hard on myself, because this week it was a lot better actually. I recognized that I am far more emotional than I allow other people to see. I spend a lot of time masking. I heard Christy say, or I heard Tonka say, it's a male thing, but I think it is just a thing that happens if you are raised in that thought. And so I have a tendency to mask. I have a tendency to, as my father would say, show a poker face all the time. And quite honestly, it made me feel frightened. So I tried to lean into it. I'm still trying to lean into it, but it is an odd feeling to want to express your emotions to other people, when you don't necessarily choose to share all the time. So I had a couple of little, I don't know, outbreaks. I don't know what you want to call them. They weren't too bad, but they were enough that I said to myself, but that's not how I treat people. I treat people with nothing but kindness, and so now I have to reflect on how I address this person. So, but that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you. That was being vulnerable in itself. When you feel like you walk around and have to mask how you really feel, and you don't want to show people, your emotions, the root cause of that is trust and betrayal issues. You know what I mean? And root cause, it comes from being a child and being what's the word I'm looking for, disappointed, you know, of having expectations from different people that you felt was supposed to react a way and didn't, you know, and so that just left a signature. But to see that wall during this week is a beautiful thing, because you have to be able to see the wall in order to break through it in the first place.
Yeah, it's awareness.
Yeah, for real. So
awareness, let me say this. Awareness is a part of the awakening. Like, we think the awakening is like, you got to have a Kundalini experience. It's got to be all this stuff happening and your body got to go through spat. The awakening is beginning to become aware of certain things. You're beginning to notice things that you didn't notice before. Wait a minute, why am I feeling like this person keeps saying this and it's hitting me this way? I'm like, what's up with that? You're aware of it. You're beginning to pump the brakes on some things. That's the awakening. You feel me?
And Rochelle, what aspects of yourself were revealed this week through the mirror work, and how did it make you feel?
There was a lot. It was all good, but it was just a lot. And it was a bit overwhelming, but in a good way, though. The thing that I started out with after the call on Sunday and said, okay, Monday when we start, I kind of read the synopsis of the week for the Sacral Chakra. And I said, oh, you know what? Okay. And my mantra was, out of my belly shall flow. And I left it at that. You know the rest of the verse, rivers of living water. So I just left it at that, because I didn't want to just say rivers of living water. I left it open.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. And then I put, I'll surrender to it, even though, you know, there's some fear. Because when I kept hearing the theme sensuality, I'm like, oh Lord, you know, it's just, I didn't want to, you know, explore that, because I never have. I mean, I was raised the same way Angela was, you know, everything about that. I mean, when the topic even came up, it just made me so uncomfortable. And it's just like made my skin crawl just to even think about it, to even imagine myself acting in that way. It just seemed like just something so forbidden for me. And so that is something that I guarded my whole life. And, you know, I felt like, well, if I'm not married, then that's not happening. And so I'm not married. So you can imagine, well, there it is. So that's not something I'm ashamed of. It's just, they're ashamed that people attach to that. So I never really talk about it with people. I don't, that's something that's very private for me. But so with that, the first day, I went through the meditation, and it got to the part where she started talking about sensuality. And I almost got up and turned it off because in my mind, it's guided meditation. So I was already deep in. And so when she got to that part, it seemed like her voice changed, and she even sounded sensual. So I was like, okay, I'm turning this off. But then I just I said, okay, I'm going to stick with it, because I remember I said to myself, I'm going to surrender.
That's it.
And I was already deeply in the spirit, so I just let it happen. I just laid there, and I was like, okay. And all of a sudden, I saw this man in the vision, and he looked like royal or something like that. And before I knew it, it was like we were in this like liturgical movement and just exchanging this energy back and forth. And it got real intense. And I started like in my mind, like, you need to get up, you know, just wake up, just come out of it. But it was like the other side of the spirit was like, no, you just let it happen. So I didn't resist anymore. I just, you know, let it play out. And before I knew it, we wound up on this hillside. It was really high mountain. And then it started, you know, it seemed like our clothes, you know, the wardrobe, everything was like a whole different scene, and it changed. And then we turned into two dragons. And when that happened, it was like this energy shot up my spine. And it was like I levitated off my mattress, literally. And I was lying there, and I just hurried up and I got up. I let it, the rest of it play out, but I was just looking around like, what in the world? I could feel this burst of, it was a charge, like, you know, like when, you know, a defibrillator, when somebody gets, it was like I was resuscitated. The life was resuscitated. You know, it was like it was revived back in me because I had, and I heard a voice say, you are the guardian of your sensuality, but you are holding yourself hostage. And I said, oh, and then it was just like the tears just started coming. And I was like, I could feel my body like really vibing. And I didn't know if I was afraid or what. And I didn't know why I was crying either. I was like, what in the world? And I was saying, like, so I got up and I was pacing back and forth because the energy was just a little too much. And so when I sat down, I tried to calm myself down, and the tears were just flowing. Then I said, what in the world am I, you know, like, what is this? And then that's when I sent you a text, like, okay, what is going on? You know, what's happening with this? Because it awakened something. And I just felt like, for me, that's something I've never explored. So it just, but it was like, and I remember talking to Coco when we did the breath work, and we were at the retreat, and we just started having like a you know, just an intimate talk. And she was talking about that, like, you know, about providing that or being the space or creating the space for yourself. And I said, well, what does that have to do with creativity and spirituality? Like,
yeah, trying to make a connection between,
yeah, it's just because there's a line of demarcation that I've always drawn when it comes to stuff like that. It's like, one doesn't have anything to do with the other. I don't care what anybody says. That doesn't have anything to do with you being creative and any of that. I didn't see the connection. And then when I was doing the mirror work, I heard the words identity crisis. And I said, identity crisis, you know, because I'm not emotional. I don't get, so it was like, you have to make the distinction between, I had to make the distinction between what is my authentic self, and then what is this self that has built all of these walls and done this and saying, this is who I am, and I don't like this, and I don't do this, and I don't do that. But when I looked in the mirror, I was just staring there, and there was a good space for me to be in, just being comfortable with just doing that, doing the mirror work. And then all of a sudden, as I was staring at myself, one side of my face I could see was different than the other. First time I really noticed it like that, it was like distinctly different. And the energy that was emanating from one side was different than the other. And then all of a sudden, my whole face just disappeared. And it was like I had on this, like, it was like just all of my features were gone. I couldn't see anything, but I was still looking. And then I heard the words, and I think Sadhguru says it sometimes. He says, you are not the body, and you are not the mind, but you are a sensual being. You are a sexual being. You are an emotional being. You have all of these, you know, layers to yourself that you say you don't have, or you hide, or you disguise, or you put, you know, to the side and don't really nurture those things because of the exterior. Because I don't want people to see that I'm emotional. I have an emotional side. This week was probably the most emotional I've ever been in my life, but it felt okay. Just let go and be okay with that. As I said, to be okay with letting go, but it was where I saw that there is an identity crisis. So for me, that was the biggest thing. That first day set the tone for the rest of the week. And after that, when I would meditate or anything, focusing on the sacral chakra, I noticed that at one point I had this really deep meditation, and it seemed like the whole lower half of my body just dissipated. I felt so weightless. I felt such in a deep spiritual state that it just wasn't there. It just didn't really matter. I would say this week has been rivers of living water, and they have been flowing. So I'm so grateful.
Thank you. First of all, when this week started, you reached out to me, and you was like, what in the world is going on with this meditation? I done levitated off my bed. Like, it was a little scary.
Yeah. I'm usually kind of able to just process stuff, and I like to analyze but that, it was like, what in the world just happened? I mean, but the whole thing, and I could tell that it was spiritual, and it was that side where Source was trying to show me, and it was like almost as if I could hear the voice of whatever that voice was speaking to me in that vision was speaking to me in my hearing. I could actually hear that voice. And after a while, the connection was just, so real that that energy was speaking to me, telling me like, this is how this is going to serve you. And it was like that, making that connection. And every time I felt more expanded, more, and everything was opening up. It was pretty powerful. Really.
I was on Instagram today, and there was this it was kind of like a praying mantis mixed with a moth, mixed with a leaf insect. And it came down my timeline, and I watched it, and I said, oh my God, that's Rochelle. That's how she gonna get free. And so I DM'd you earlier. I don't know if you've seen it. I DM'd you. It was 1 something my time. And I said, ain't this the insect that was on your card that was pulled for the retreat? And the insect was dancing. It was dancing in the sacral chakra. The sacral area was moving. I said, oh my God. Spirit said that's Rochelle. That's how she gonna get free with that sacral chakra. She has to dance. And I said, I think that's her card. Your card said, was it dance on 1 foot or something like that?
It was, yes. And that's something that you said that, because that's in one of my reflections. I wrote that down. A lot of what I was dealing with just the whole week was dancing, liturgical movement, because it started out that way in the first one. We were actually, doing these liturgical dances. It was just this smooth movement, and it was all about that. So I just said, okay, that thing keeps coming up this week. So I didn't know you sent it, because I was out all day today, so I haven't checked it. But yeah, I'm gonna look at it. Thank you.
You get a chance, look at your DM, because I said, oh, okay, I see. That's how she gonna get it. And you were afraid because of that opening it was dead in that area.
Yeah.
No life. So it blasted open, and it scared the hell out of you. It was an instant awakening.
Yeah.
But you thought it was. That's like an ego death in that area. That's what you experienced. So, thank you for that. Dance and movement, is a beautiful thing to get to release stagnant energy, especially, in that hip area.
I ain't doing no hip rolling. I'm sorry.
What happened?
He said he ain't doing no hip rolls.
You ain't got to do hip rolls. You can do cat cows. You know what I'm saying? It's about just moving that area, and that's the thing. Talking about ain't no doing no hip rolls. That's that masculine stuff.
That's what I was getting.
You know what I'm saying?
Your ass some hip rolls.
Well, I would tell you this. There was that Watts, Mozambique.
Yeah, going
hip rolling and
bike mode.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. We getting ready to talk about it in a second, but go ahead.
Listen, you got a wife. If you got to go in there and
roll them hips,
and get your ass in there and roll them hips.
With the homie. Yeah, roll them hips with the homie. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, let's roll it together.
Yeah. All right.
Saniqua, what hidden aspects of yourself did you reveal during this week in the mirror work, and how did it make you feel?
My voice is gone, so excuse me.
Oh, God.
I don't know what didn't happen. Crazy, ain't it?
Yes.
And that's a part of it, I think. I think that's a part of everything too. But I realized that I second guess myself. I have self-doubt within me. And I know that I need to be able to trust myself and move forward in whatever my creativeness is. But because I let a lot of the stuff with the church stagnate me. It brought forth a lot of fear. So I don't move in my creativity like I used to. I doubt myself. And so I realized that because I would sit more than I ever have in my life, I would dip off, make this happen, do this, do that. But I don't even do that anymore. I don't even make moves like that anymore because I realize I'm doubting myself and I'm fearful of certain things. And yeah, that was definitely brought to me this week.
And how did that make you feel when it was brought to you?
A little pissed off. Because that never was me. And it's like, okay, you got to trust yourself. You got to move forward. You can't be stagnant. You know when it's time to make a move, make your moves. Even if it don't be how you want it to be, you still got to do it.
Yeah.
And so for me, that's where I've been.
Thank you for being vulnerable and being open to reveal that. I know for a fact that there's other people in this room that resonate with what you said.
Yeah.
That second guess themselves. They higher self give them a thought and they resonate with it like a mug. Soul is lit on fire. Yeah. And then you make two steps, and then the heart start to flutter. And you like, wait a minute,
shit.
Hold on. What if this? What if that? What if this? What if that? And
Yep.
next thing you know, nothing.
I haven't made a move.
Yeah.
And that hasn't been me, but it's been me lately.
Yeah.
And that's just not me. And so I get upset with myself because I know better. But that fear came in and stagnated me. And I get angry because I allowed that to come in through church that I thought they were supposed to make me better, but it didn't. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Listen, these revelations and realizations, they hit hard. And just the general consensus, I want to say this, we all have many gifts. I don't care if it's somebody on here that feel like they don't know how to do shit. We all have many gifts. Some gifts are still covered. You can't get to gifts. What if Rochelle, what if your gift is to be teach people how to belly dance? That's not it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, look at Angie over there like
yeah, Angie with it. Yeah, Angie with it.
Like, what if that's your gift that's hidden? This sacral chakra work is meant to be like a flower being unfolded layer by layer, removing the blockages and tapping into what you are supposed to tap into. When you're good at many things and you have a lot of different ideas and you can do this and you can do that, you can get into analysis paralysis, where your mind is just overworking. It's about focusing in on one thing and completing that one thing, because what good is it to have 15 things in the mix and ain't nothing gonna get done? It's about focusing and building on that one thing. And once you build on that one thing, the other branches will start to grow. Before the gift or me knowing that I was a shaman and going through all of that, I've always known how to cook, like my whole life, my whole family. Like,
Yes.
They always knew how to cook. But
Yes.
this whole vegan thing, that was something new for me to learn. And in me watching the diet and watching what I put in my body caused me to vibrate higher. Me being hit with fears and saying I'm gonna push past that fear was me opening up another layer of the flower and another talent and another gift. You know, a lot of people will say, you know, my parents, you know, put this in me, so that made me really not believe in myself or whatever, blah, 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 or it made me second guess. You know, that can be people's stories. My story is I did not have the support. I didn't have the support. I knew I couldn't go home and ask my mama to help me with my homework. I can't ask her to help me with my homework. So you know what that means? I better pay my ass attention in school and ask the questions that I need to ask, because I ain't got no help.
Figure it out
when I go home. So I got to do it. Nobody is coming to see any of my performances. Nobody is coming to see nothing that I'm doing. But to be honest with you, I didn't care as a child. I did not care. It did not stop me. Right? I was kind of glad that they didn't show up, because if they did, it was going to be some hell that was going to show up with them. So my thing was stay home. But one thing that, you know, I was not grateful for, you know, back then, that I'm grateful for now is me not having that support from my mother. Right? And I say that, and my mother she didn't have it in her to give the support, because she didn't get the support. She lived her whole life with looking back. I just wish my daddy would have let me sing. I just wish my daddy would have let me sing. And she was stuck in that for like the rest of her life. So how could she give me, you know what I'm saying, the support? Like, I want to dance. Okay, well, you're not going to put me in no dance class? Well, my dance class going to be the music videos. And so I'm going to sit here and I'm going to learn this dance routine, and I'm going to learn it backwards, and I'm going to put what I need to put in me, because I can't trust
and
rely on y'all to do it. So that's one thing that I can say. I can teach people how to do. I can teach people how to walk in their authenticity. I can teach people, you know, how to shine bright
from the inner source,
right? From you know, from that inner source, without having to dim your light, because you the shit. If you put the work in to learn and to do what you do, then you the shit. It don't have nothing to do with what or how somebody else feels on the outside, because their journey is their journey. Your journey is your journey. If you go to somebody and you ask somebody for their opinion, right, and this person's mindset is not what, you know, not what it is, you're a mirror. So you giving them an idea and you reflecting your idea back to them, and they can't see that for themselves. So they're not going to give you what you need in the first place.
Right. That's the reaction that you're going to receive. Something that doesn't come from a place that's achievable, because they can't see themselves achieving it.
Exactly. So you have to be, first of all, you have to be careful on who you go to give your ideas to begin with, unless you know that person got the energy for you. Coco, if you can answer this question.
Every single one of you all's story resonates with me, from Amanda and Tonka speaking first. I don't know if you can tell, but that had me in tears, because my mother was just like that. You know what I'm saying? I remember going to my mother when I first was, you know, even interested in being sexually active, after all of the sexual trauma that I experienced as a young child. And it's been like this last 6 months has been just my mother and I healing our relationships, and me just sharing stuff with her that she had no idea of, because I just kept everything in. But I also then had that religious church trauma, you know, no sex before marriage, this type of thing. And then what it does is just, it gives you like the shame. Like Amanda said, you still end up doing it, but now you have the shame with it. You know what I'm saying? So everyone's story definitely resonated to my core. Immediately, it made me think about my children. You know what I'm saying? And the different traumas that I know that I caused them from my own trauma. You know, my daughter, when she was in high school, I made her go on the Depo Provera shot, and she would not. She make sure she let me know that traumatized her. And before, I would still not be able to accept the fact that that was from my own trauma because I was a teenage mother. So I think, Priscilla, you even brought that to my attention. Like, you just didn't want her to be a teenage mother, and I didn't. I'm like, you going on a shot? She was like, Mom, I wasn't even having sex. I'm like, everything looked like sexual stuff to me from just my own traumas. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I carried a lot of like shame and a lot of guilt in my sacral chakra. And like, so with Rochelle, yes, I was like this because not only did Rochelle has worked with me with breathwork, but also the last retreat that you just had, the soul retrieval. But then also when we was in Joshua Tree, remember how we took Rochelle? We took you out there and we was dancing, and
That's right. I was trying to get you to dance all the way back then. That's
yes,
right.
yes. And I remember even sitting with Rochelle at the table, first meeting, and talking about um, sexual trauma. I don't know if you remember Rochelle or not, but I remember you saying like, I don't think I have no, I don't feel like that. And then like an epiphany happened right then and there when we continued to talk about like what that looked like from the church and different, what I'm saying, restrictions they put on us as women. It's like if you wear your skirt too short, what I'm saying, you trying to get attention, or just all these different things that restricts us from being the sacred, central, divine women that we just innately are. You know what I'm saying? The creation that we hold within us is in the sacral chakra. Everything that you feel, every emotion that you feel, all these different things is rooted in the sacral chakra. So yeah, every time somebody spoke, it was just like I can feel it in my bones. Something that Saniqua said that really resonated with me, and it's like what I'm dealing with now, because we heal in layers, just like this flower. You know what I'm saying, that Priscilla talked about. We're just peeling back all these layers of ourselves, and so it was just a wave of emotions. But one that I wrote down was about fear of failure, right? I remember Priscilla and I, when we were trying not to be majorettes and when we was in high school. And I knew the routine. I could do the routine, but I was so afraid of failing. What if I get up here and everybody laugh at me? What if I miss a step? And my biggest fear came true. I got up there to try out and audition, and they would not let us do it together because they knew if I had you, I was gonna feel a little bit more confident. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I just carried that fear. And so then I had to get to the root of why did I have this fear of failure? You know what I'm saying? What was it as a child? And I remember as a child, like, and my mother or my brother or whatever, they didn't know what they were doing, but they would laugh and tease me. You know what I'm saying? If I would dance, because I always like love modern dance. And they would be laughing at me like, here you go again. You all doing all these different things. And so it made me feel like, oh, I really can't dance. Or if I tried to sing something, it would be like, well, but your brother can hold a note better than you. So it was just this fear of the constant failure that I was holding. I was a lot like Saniqua. I started to feel like upset at myself. Like, you already know, what I'm saying? You have to do this and you have to do that. So finding that balance of like not being so hard because we just accepting those parts of ourselves and knowing like, okay, now you're aware of it. Like, that resonated when you said like the awakening is not like this, oh, I had a kundalini. And I remember thinking that like, hell, I didn't have no kundalini. Does that mean I ain't woke? You know what I'm saying? At the beginning of my journey. But it's like, no, just being aware of it. So now I understand that's what it is. It came up to the surface. It was a fear of failure or not being enough or not having enough. And it made me feel very, very vulnerable. And I can feel that anxiousness coming up and that deep breathing of like, okay, just chill. That don't mean that I still got my entire life. That doesn't mean I failed at anything. That just means that it's room for me to grow and to start doing it, to start dancing more. And those are the emotions I felt with it. So definitely continue to tap into like the sensuality and the sexual part of who I am, that I don't need a partner, I don't need a whatever, that everything that I need is already within me. I just got to tap in to get it and activate it. So,
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank you.
being vulnerable with that. That brings a memory to myself. I used to dance all around the house. I used to get whoopings because my mama would tell me to clean up and I wouldn't clean up. I would just be dancing and dancing and dancing and dancing. Hours later, she coming through the door and I'm still dancing, ain't cleaned up nothing. And she walking in the door and I'm still dancing. They used to say, will you sit your ass down? That's what they used to say to me. Would you sit your ass down? All you doing is dancing around. Yeah, and I'm going to keep on dancing. You're not about to stop me from dancing, because when your blues come on, you want me to come on downstairs and dance for your friends. So I'm going to dance, for myself. Come on down here and show up. You know how your parents be trying to embarrass you. Come on down here and show them, you know what I mean? Show them you know how to dance and, all of that. We have to be willing to push past what other people feel when it comes to making sure that we feel good. F them. They got their own stuff that they need to be focusing on. Stop looking over here. Go look your ass in the mirror. Go handle what you need to handle. Let me tell you, this solar plex chakra next week, we getting into it. I'm telling y'all, when we come here on this Zoom, y'all be ready. Y'all be ready like Freddie. Y'all know, and I'm not talking about Freddie from Nightmare on Elm Street. The ones in Detroit. Y'all remember Fast Freddie? With the he on the dance show, he would be dancing and had that little coat and swinging around and tapping on his shoulders. I'm gonna need y'all to be ready like Freddie. I'm gonna see if I can find a video and send it to y'all so y'all know what I'm talking about. Some of y'all do know, but some of y'all don't. But I'm gonna need y'all to be ready like Freddie, because guess what? It's time out, for us to be afraid to walk in what we were called to do. Like, the universe got you. The universe got you. But you don't believe that the universe got you when you only take one step. You got to bust through that door even though you scared. Even though you afraid. When I tell y'all, my whole life I've been an introvert. I didn't hang around a lot of people. I kept to myself. I always march to the beat of my own drum, and I kind of understand why now, why I moved in that. But it was still parts in my life where I felt stagnation and I felt fear, and where I just wanted to stay where I felt safe. And for me, it was a lot of walls. I can do it by myself. I can do this. I can do that. I can do this. I can do that. I can do it by myself. I can do it by myself. I don't need nobody help. I don't need nobody help. And that was from the trauma of not having the help when I was younger. But in those walls that I created, I just blocked myself in. So never would I ever have thought that I would be sitting here doing a live coaching group coaching call Because to be honest, if I came in a room and I could be in a room for a whole bunch of people, you wouldn't even know what my voice sound like. They would ask Zeno, is your wife okay? Because I'll be sitting in the corner just watching everybody, not saying nothing the whole time. But when you walk in your destiny and you put one foot in front of the other and you push past that fear, you start to awaken. You always gonna have failure. It's not going nowhere. It's gonna always be there. From one project to the next project, to the next project, to the, you done got over this hump. I done got over this hump. I done completed this. I done put it out there. Oh shit, it didn't go how I thought it was gonna go. It didn't go how I expected it to go. So now I'm just not gonna do nothing. No. We gonna get up out of that and we gonna push past some things because it's time to manifest out here in this vibration.
Just wanted to say, I don't know if you can hear me, but I wanted to say that I really commend the men on here that is really doing the work and not running. That is very important for their lives, their children, their spouses, and everything. To see them doing the work, it makes my heart happy. And I appreciate even being able to do this mirror work course with everyone, but especially the men, because I see so many that run, so many that don't want to look at themselves. And my husband is one of them. I want him to be a part of these things, but he has to want to be a part of these things in order to move forward. But I'm proud to see my brother Z, to see Brandon and Alex, and it's like, and Tonka, like, because I seen Tonka before too. And it's like, I just
like a totally
appreciate
different
it.
person, don't he?
Yeah, and I love it. I love it for him and Amanda because as husband and wife, it's the bomb when you can heal together. And a lot of men don't really pick that up. So I just wanted to say kudos to the men and all of us, but definitely these men who want to do some life-changing things for themselves and their family. So I just wanted to say that I appreciate all of y'all. Thanks.
Thank you so much for that, Saniqua.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we do.
Listen, what's from the heart reaches the heart.
Yeah.
And y'all know that came straight from her heart because I know y'all felt that, like, for real. Let me say this really quickly too, since we're talking about, the men and all that. Y'all are called to balance. We all are called to balance. Period. You know what I'm saying? We all are both male and female. Both. Half and half. And if you leaning on your masculine or if you leaning all on your divine feminine, then you walking around looking like you need a V8. Y'all seen that commercial before where you need a V8 and they be walking to the side? And they like, they ain't walking straight, they walking to the side and they like, you look like you need a V8. You know what I'm saying?
And then when they get it, it'd be like,
balancing your
you.
right, balancing your ass means you done drunk the V8. So it's time for us to drink the V8 and come into balance with our divine feminine and our divine masculine, because when you're moving too much in your masculine, I gotta go, I gotta make this happen, I gotta go, I gotta make this happen, you can't see nothing else but red. You have to be able to sit in your emotions and feel and understand that the universe is working behind, regardless if you can see it or not. The divine feminine is the unseen realm that is not knowing, unknown, right? That can be the scariest thing to step into.
Yes.
That darkness. Like for real. When you pull in that divine feminine, the unknown, and you like, oh yeah, this is going to manifest because this is what I'm putting my energy into.
Yes.
I'm investing in who is the most important. You.
Mm-hmm.
You're investing in you. The time that y'all sitting on y'all behinds, whether y'all legs is falling asleep or your feet falling asleep or your back hurt or whatever, you're still using this time to invest in you, betting on you. This is where it starts, right? And the most important thing is to be able to tap into your higher self so that you can know where to go, because that's where the answers lie.
I heard a lot of the women speak, and it was a resounding synchronicity amongst most of you that said, yo, like I felt kind of suppressed, or it was some shame, or some terrible things that happened to you at a younger age. So there was an imprint that was put there. And first of all, honestly, from my heart, my spirit, and my soul, I just want to say that I am so proud of the courage that all of you are walking in, and be able to just share to the depths in which you are sharing. For me, being in this space, I'm extremely honored, because this is a sacred space that we have created. And so the spirit is flowing for sure. And I'll just say that, especially to my men, like a lot of men get caught, we see this, they get caught up in not being able to understand sexual energy. And they lean really heavy, you know, within their masculine to try to overtake individuals, right? For the men that are in here that are actually married, it's a beautiful thing to be able to acknowledge, right, individuals that move in their sexual energy to a certain degree. It's like, oh man, okay, well, this woman, she look good, or this dude, he put in the work, he handsome as hell. Not that, you know, I don't want to overtake this dude sexually,
right,
but there's something admirable in him moving in his masculine energy. That's like, yo, all of that should be inspiring. When you see a beautiful person, period, it should be inspiration and fuel to direct you to go inward, to begin to learn how to balance and move and chisel and work. And this word that Brandon keeps using is so appropriate, to move into that level towards mastery in our sexual energy. So the sacral is because it is tied to all these other things. Do y'all understand that some of the most prominent people on the planet have actually learned how to harness their sexual energies? Like, you know what? I'm not even really finna focus on releasing sexually. I'm gonna harness the energy so that I can focus on my creativity and come up with this idea that the world needs. And we're moving and enjoying all of these things based off of people that have learned how to harness their sexual energy and recognizing the power of it. So I know that once you guys go through this course, because I've already heard some of you say, yo, I'm gonna have to revisit some of this stuff. Like, I know we going to the next week, and you know, we moving all, we didn't off the root chakra. Now we in this sacral. Dang, and I got stuff I didn't left back here. But that's okay, because once we go through it, it's your course. You can go back to it and explore your kingdom, your universe, because that's a level of intimacy that nobody really out here teaching. Or if they are teaching it, then they honestly, they on the dark side of it. They like, look, you need to go ahead and move in this so you can get this material thing while you here on the planet Earth. You just need to move and do this. But there are effects to those causes that we move in, right? You get on a ride, 9 times out of 10, somebody paid for that ride for you to enjoy it. And so what are you going to have to give back for that? So in essence, I just wanted to say that. And again, I'm thankful, I'm honored, and I'm privileged to be in this space, because you guys are courageous as hell. And I love being in this space with you. Thank you.
Sexual energy has everything to do with creation. Just think about it. Just think about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how creation happened. That's how y'all got here.
Mm-hmm.
That's how y'all were created.
Mm-hmm.
So reason why it's masculine and feminine. This earth is
Mm-hmm.
masculine and feminine, right? You have male trees
Mm-hmm.
that produce pollen, that fall, seeds, right? Then you have female trees that produce fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Male, female,
Mm-hmm.
sexual energy, creation.
It's all around us.
It's all around us. You know what I'm saying?
Insect kingdom, the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom. We could go on and on with this.
Why be ashamed?
Mm-hmm.
Now the shit can be overactive.
Yeah,
You
right.
be doing too much. Somebody just had their hand up or no?
Amanda, you
Oh,
want to say
Amanda,
something?
okay.
Okay, so real quick, I just wanted to say, because I was listening to, I think it was Coco that said about the sacral chakra being the sexual organs, right? There was one part of that because I have to get visuals, right? And I have to study and go really, really deep so that I can understand it. And there was a work that I was hearing about the perineum, right? That is located between the anus and your sexual part for male and female. So even in the breathing portion of it, to hold it in an emotion, right? In the feeling of an emotion, I found that when I held it and focus on what I was feeling, and then when I released it, it didn't have so much power. So as I was doing the exercise and I was doing the breathing, and then I was able to move the emotion, the feeling, and I was able to, and even to take the energy and move it up and down, up and down. And this is a side note, when my mom used to say, "You hot in the ass," I literally felt the heat from my back, from the lower back chakra, and I felt it moving up and down. And I was like, I was associating that from all of the, because people say stuff for a reason, right? Don't be hot in, or then you're like, oh, that's really heat right there. Oh, okay. But it's just interesting. Now then I associate the perineum, and then I look at the pains of the fibroids or something that has grown in that area because of shame. And then you cycling for a long duration of time, right, is all a manifestation of all the trauma, of all the shame and all of that. And then the herb, being a masculine, right, comes in and balances the feminine. So I just wanted to share that.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
But you done broke down some stuff. All right. So this next question, who wants to answer this? If my soul could speak to me directly, what message would it give me right now?
Just to show up for myself like I show up for others.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
How much do y'all give to other people? Imagine that.
So right. Do you see everybody's faces on here? I don't even know. Can you see the grid?
She on the phone.
Okay.
So Angie's
People
doing this,
looking like
clapping. People like,
Yeah, because we're kind of trained to, again, always move and help the world, and you know what I'm saying, give and move and help. It's nothing wrong with helping and assisting. It's nothing wrong with being a blessing to people.
Yep. Yep.
But not to the detriment of your own sake of being.
Yep. Yep.
Get your overflow.
And that's where I am. I was working on an empty vessel. And this is why my voice gone right now. My husband took me out for our anniversary. And I've been to 10 different places. to show up for somebody else.
Mm.
And yet again, here I am getting sick because I'm supposed to be resting.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But I had to go to this party and go to that party and show up for this person and show up for that. And it just smacked me like right in the face with that question.
Woo. Wow.
That's why I was like, it's simple, but it's powerful for me. I don't know about nobody else, but for me, I'll fly across the world if my friends need me. I'll do anything if my friends or my family need me or my husband. But I'm last. I won't do a damn thing for myself.
Instead of just saying, you know what, I love you, I'm going to come to you right where you are. Let me figure out your schedule and what's comfortable for you so that I can celebrate you.
And it don't happen. That never happens. It's very rare. I may have one or two people that'll do that for me. And I give and I give and I give. Everybody says, you live too far. Well, you live on the east side and I drive to you. But you can't come to me. And it's like, that just hit me like a ton of bricks.
You learned the lesson for sure.
Yeah.
We can hear it in your
Yeah.
voice.
You had to go.
Yeah.
You had to
Yeah.
go through that so that you can be reminded. That's the point of having a body scan. How did the body scan show up for you this week, given to other people when you know dang on well a lot of that time was supposed to be nurturing yourself,
Yes.
putting in. Imagine what you could get done. Imagine what you could get done if you just told some people no sometime.
And you mentioned something about divine femininity being like leaning to a darkness. Did you say something about that?
Mm-hmm.
And that clicked so much for me because I've been weighing two different, I feel like I have two different options right now in life. And I've been weighing the two of where I've been comfortable and where I could go that feels unknown and a little dark, but feels liberating.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, why do I feel a darkness? And why? And my aunt mentioned something about that space maybe being dark. I'm like, why are you picking up on that? Like, why are you getting that? And I've been sitting on that all week and I'm like, and I'm trying to get emotional because I feel like that just released me a bit.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that could be dark, but it doesn't mean it has to be bad.
Exactly.
And so I feel like that's what Source would tell me is that to lean into that and not to be afraid of that and to let go of the past situations or old habits, old environments. And in order to service myself, I have to isolate. And that's taking me somewhere to isolate to evolve.
Right.
And that goes back to the whole parent and people's opinions and like just having to get away from that to where I can live my life. And so I feel like I just opened up a bit. It feels good. So I just had to get that out.
Yes, and release. It is beautiful. It's okay to have. See what everyone is witnessing is the awakening happening in real time. The awakening of, oh my gosh, there's a higher level of consciousness that I can move in because I decided to do the work and push past.
It's okay to be afraid. It's okay. It's all right.
In stereotypical philosophies, when people automatically connect darkness to something negative, when everything that we know as existence came from darkness. Everything that we moving in.
We came from that. In order to get to the light, you have to go through the darkness. In order for transformation, you have to go into isolation, the dark.
I never felt that because I've been so protected and shielded. And I'm like, this decision feels like this is something I have to do on my own. And I'm like, but can somebody like, what do you think? Or like, are you on board? And it's like, girl, go do it. And then you will know.
Yeah.
And I just kept feeling dark. And I'm like, I can't see it. And I can see. And I'm like, I can't see it. Or when I'm in that situation, I'm like, this doesn't feel light, but that doesn't mean it's bad. And I've been struggling with that so much. And that just literally released it. Now I'm like, now that I know that, I can't go back on that. I can't rethink that, you know.
Yeah.
And it's okay to feel, it's okay to feel scared, you know. My dad always says, do it scared of anything, just do it, you know.
Ooh, yeah.
That's
yeah.
real. And that releasing that control of me not being able to see, but also seeing what it could be. And it's so overwhelmingly beautiful that I'm like, you just got to get over it to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Thank you for that. You
Yeah,
know?
thank y'all, because it took that. And I was hoping that would come up, because I feel like my throat chakra was being blocked too, of just even being able to express that, because I'm like, how do I express it without asking for an opinion when I need to know it for myself? And it just clicked, and I'm like, there you go. So
your higher self is programmed to move specifically to your ego, the I of yourself, right? Just like somebody else's higher self, right? Even though we're all one, we still different. We still have different paths. So my path is not your path. Even if we got the same gifts, they don't work the same.
Right.
Right. It has everything to do with the path that you are supposed to be on. Other people's opinions ain't got shit to do with what your higher self is calling you to do. It's calling you to do it for a reason. And that reason ain't got nothing to do with somebody else's opinion, especially when there's a constant war of fighting those principalities and powers in high places in the spiritual realm. Is happening. Just like you have your higher self that's telling you come over here, that opposing side can ring so much louder. So much louder. Before my first retreat that I did, I remember having it was a dream, it was a vision, but I remember this entity wanting to scare the hell out of me to stop me from doing the retreat. And I was in a library, and it was full of knowledge, and I was being led down a path to go in and reach and grab this book, but I had to reach down really, really deep to get it. And when I reached down to grab the book and I went to pull it out, the entity grabbed my wrist and pulled me in real fast. And face to face said, "What do you think you doing?" When I say, if y'all know anything about night terror versus a nightmare, a nightmare, you like, oh shit, I had a nightmare. Thank God it was just a dream. Even though, we can talk about that another time, but a night terror, it stays with you for days and weeks. You feel it, in your body.
Energetically, in your aura, in the biofield, it stays with a person.
And even though that shook me to my core, I got excited. I was like, dang.
I'm that important.
Is that who I am?
Yeah, I'm that powerful.
Is that who I am?
For sure.
That you really going through all this. That's why when a lot of people get ready to come to ceremony, I'll be like, get ready, because some stuff is going to show up. It's going to show up so you can know what your intentions is.
Yeah.
And how to move, through that, and what's priority and what you need to be working on. So I just had to say that really quickly. Who wants to answer? How do I allow or deny myself the full experience of pleasure and joy?
Christy. That hand went up.
She's like, me.
Yes.
I wrote, it's easier for me to serve others all the time, and it's always like being revered, like, or admired to be a servant and serve others. And I think it always keeps going back to church and how we were raised, and love your neighbor as yourself. But somewhere along the line I kind of learned that you can't love anybody unless you love yourself. And that verse even says like love your neighbor as yourself. Like you
Mm.
have to love yourself and then love your neighbor, but it was taught to us in a way where love your neighbor, like you supposed to love your neighbor first, or you know what I'm saying? So anyway, so I'm gonna continue. I said it's easier to serve others and distract myself with doing so, or
Mm.
even with
Wow.
shopping or getting another job, or um than doing the work for my soul or showing up for myself or create or completing any of my creative projects that I start, or just being busy finishing what I start creatively, or and finishing what I start, like as far as my soul work. Like it's easy to like, well, I think what Heather was saying, like when she would say like she would go to the mirror and then she would stop. And I think I heard some other people say it too, like just like to keep trying to go back. um and I would go back, but I would notice like a lot of times like I get distracted. So like today I went to a coffee house to do my questions, because I was like, let me not be in my house to be distracted. Like I had to change my environment and put my intentions like in a whole nother like direction, because I was just like, I'm serious about this. Like I had to tell myself, like sit myself down. Like you gonna do this. You know, I could tell myself all day I'm serious about it, but it really
Mm.
I, that's what it looks like to me, that it's easier to be distracted. And um I think like distraction is second nature to me, but at the same time um it's like a crutch too, because it's like, oh, this is better. This is let me just be over here. Let me just be over there. You know what I mean? Instead of like really facing your demons or facing your things you need to be free from. And you
Yeah.
just won't be free until you get with yourself. So anyway,
Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
good.
I appreciate that. The distractions are going to always be there, right? Before we moved to California, when I say TV was it, like this show after that show after this show, this movie after this movie after this movie. Like literally, we was going over to my cousin's house basically every day.
Night.
What movie we gonna watch this time? We didn't care if Tubi wasn't a thing back then, but
Yeah.
it was some Tubi style movies we was looking at,
Yeah, we
and
didn't
we
care.
did not care.
No.
And there was Tubi movie after Tubi
Yeah.
movie after Tubi movie,
Every
and we
night.
didn't care every
Every
night. And then we went home, and then we woke up the next day. We went to work, to our businesses or our jobs, and then later on we came home to eat. We come back over so we can figure out what we gonna watch.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Then we come out to California.
Loop.
Right. And so now Zeno's distraction back in Michigan too was the video game.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He was focusing on playing a video game. Shit. That's how we met, basically. Them playing the video games.
Yeah.
You know, but when he came out here, he
Mm.
decided to put that distraction to the side, but we still had the distraction of TV, like so much that hell, we got on TV for watching TV. We
Right.
got paid
Yes.
to watch TV. It was a beautiful, beautiful job.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? We got paid nice to watch TV. So if anybody know about watching TV,
Yeah.
we know about
Yeah,
watching TV. We
sure.
know about the distractions. Okay, I'm gonna get to what I need to get to. You know what? Just let me look at one more episode of this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do it in that episode. Or let me look at one more episode of it, and then next thing you know, you sleepy and you tired. When I say for the past 2 years, I can't watch TV. I try. I just cannot. If it's not feeding my my soul or
Mhm.
pulling me up higher. Now, don't get me wrong. Every now and again, I do have to watch something ratchet to help ground me.
She do.
I'm not even joking.
She do. And I gotta say this.
Like
Hold on. And I'll be like, why? My wife can be sitting at the kitchen island and she cooking and she got the iPad going. And I'm hearing curse words coming out the iPad. Like, what is it? What's going on? People fighting? What the hell happened?
Yes, they be fighting everything on there. Yes,
Yeah.
sometimes I do.
I'm like,
I
wow.
have to watch the ratchetness. You know why? Because I'm tapped in
Mhm.
all the time. I remember one time I got shook because I was walking around and I was tapped in the higher realms so much that I got caught off guard when somebody that had an entity attached to them approached me and asked me for some money on the street.
Yeah.
She walked up like, what's up? What's up? You got some money? You got some money? You all in my face. You got some money? You got some money? And I was so tapped in when I saw her, I saw the entity and it grounded me instantly, but it shook the hell out of me because I was so tapped in the higher, just manifesting and tapping into the unknown and walking over here and not really paying attention to this physical realm. It's important because you're here on this physical realm. Don't forget that. So it's all about balance.
Yeah.
And knowing how to put the distractions to the side.
Yeah.
What could we have accomplished if we would have put that time
in?
Right? That right there is what makes room for freedom for you to be able to just chill and look at what you want to look at for entertainment when you want to do it. But you know, it's important for us to be able to, be able to kick those distractions to the curb, especially when our higher self is calling us to change.
Was we on another question?
Yeah.
Somebody was supposed to
Did
answer?
you, Chrissy had her finger up. Did you want to say something, Chrissy, before we go to this next question?
Yeah, I was just speaking to the fact that like what you just said, more so it's not about me being in life's distractions because I have enough of that too. I'm not definitely not have a shortage of that going on. But it's more so like where I'll be doing my soul work or I'll be doing a project and then I just get to a point where I'll be like, I'm in it and I'll just go do something else because it's easier to be distracted in that moment, in the moment. So I have basically told myself that going back to question 2, basically my answer was super simple too, just to be free to create, no holding back, no shame, and you're worthy of focus. You're worthy of letting your light shine and listen to spirit and be grounded and be guided. So that in the moment I felt like I needed a mantra. And so that's what I've given myself is slow down, breathe, and tell yourself you're worthy. You're worthy of healing. You're worthy of this work right now.
Yeah.
So
He's worthy to manifest your, your desires and your passions, right? Because why do you have the gift in the first place? Just to have the shit? What is that?
and how you gonna manifest anything if you all the way here, there, and everywhere? What you
Yeah.
manifesting?
Don't give me no
Tornado?
if I can't use it. Why are you having it? It's for you to use it, not to be afraid of it, right? And it's a lot of people on here that I know for a fact need to be teaching others their gift. I know for a fact it's others on here, multiple people. You may not feel like you ready.
Wow.
All you got to do is be a few chapters ahead of everybody else. That's it. That's it. Don't be waiting till you feel like, I got to be ready for this and I got to be ready for that. And perfectionism will cause you to procrastinate, which all has everything to do with the fear of failure. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Move even though you're fearful. Do you know how long I've been sitting, spirit telling me, redo the course, read. Okay, I'm gonna do it. Thank God I did it. Thank God I sat down. Zeno
focused.
saw me focused.
Yes.
I woke up at 5 a.m. Started 6 a.m. till it was time for me to go to bed. I eat. Did it for a while. Like, it didn't feel like work, but I still had to focus in, even though I don't watch TV. There's still other distractions. Because I could just be like, you know what, I'm just going to go out and just sit by the pool. And I could just, no. We really got to show up for ourselves if we want to manifest what we wrote in week 1 of the root chakra. What makes you feel safe and secure? That scenario, what would be your perfect scenario? Everybody in here got the goods to manifest that. It's just about you putting in the work to manifest it. Here, let's get to this next question. Who's going to answer it? In what ways do I dishonor or disregard my body's messages, and how can I deepen my connection with it? Y'all remember what I talked about earlier when I had that sparkling water and my bladder started hurting? And then the next day, I drank a little bit of water and was feeling good. It was like, you know what? I know I'm supposed to only drink water, but let me just stick my toe in the water again. And the same thing happened. Yeah, that was a way that I disregarded my body's message. Now, what if I just kept doing that and just kept doing that? And my bladder is giving me a sign that it needs a break. Eventually, something else is going to erupt. It's going to lead to something else. Then guess what? Vibration is down. You got sickness attached. Ain't nobody got time for that. Okay, Rochelle, go ahead.
Oh, okay. The first thing I said was I say deficiency first, and then I judge harshly. So it's just a lot of self-criticism. And then I rarely extend grace to myself. I see my body as my enemy. And it's crazy. I romanticize over thoughts of detachment and dissolution, and that makes me feel better about how I feel about myself. I feel like, well, this body is disposable, and maybe if I just, I want to detach myself from the idea of being in the body and not feeling comfortable in it. So I just say, oh, well, if I just detach myself and talk about it and, say it's deficient and say it's this, then I feel better about feeling that way, which is when I start thinking about that, when we read the question, I just immediately just kind of started reaching out to my higher self and the spirit and just saying, how come it's like, that's even after the soul retrieval, it was like, okay, that's something I knew I needed to still focus on. And so I made it a point to do that. And so what the spirit said to me, because I just allowed the spirit to speak to me. And so to deepen my connection with it, first by doing classes like this, engaging in spirit work and the work that we're doing now. And so that has really helped. I can see that things are taking a turn for me, for the better when it comes to just body image and the way I see myself, because it's really dishonoring your body when you talk about yourself like that, all that negative self-talk and being self-deprecating and all of that. So I said, I must embrace and accept it for what it is and appreciate its inherent creation, development, function, and overall purpose. It is a tool purposed by the divine to actualize and experience the material realm, specifically catered and customized for this dimension.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Wow. I appreciate that. Thank you. Where in my life am I suppressing my creative energy? And why am I afraid to express it fully?
I didn't answer that question because I was still trying to figure it out. I can make up some stuff, but even when we started this, I thought creative, when you said this creative energy, I was thinking, especially when you said we should try these things, painting and writing poems and doing all that other stuff. And, watching Amanda come up with all these ideas, her clothing line, her product line, all this stuff, because that stuff comes to Amanda easy. And I was just telling her, was it today or yesterday? I was saying, I can pretend in my head, but to create and be creative, it don't come easy. Now, can you give me a task? Yeah, will I knock it out all day? But to create, and I guess, where am I suppressing? I guess that is suppressing just the creativity, because probably when I was a kid, I probably did. I know I had to, because I grew up playing with G.I. Joes and Transformers, and I played with toys till I was damn near 15. Making up little parachutes with plastic bags and bobby pins and throwing them in the air and being in the backyard. So I know I can create, but it was like, I want to say somewhere around 15, 16. It's like I lost all of that. And I was just living and running through life. And then growing up in the environment I grew up in and gravitating to them streets, you couldn't really create like that. You couldn't have that face on. So now to be damn near 50 and going through this, that's why I said this week was sort of hard. But then when I was listening to Alex and I was listening to all the other people say, oh, okay, the sacral chakra has a lot to do with the feminine energy and emotions, but still, I still feel like you said, I feel like the creativity is suppressed. Yes. Where is it? I don't know. And why I don't feel afraid though. It's like I know it's there and I can't even get to it.
That's exactly what it is, fear. And it's the fear of not believing in the creation coming to pass. And that has everything to do with the chakra that we're going to work on next week, the solar plex, right? Suppressing, not believing for so long that you're worthy of.
That's where I was.
You know what I'm saying? Of making something come to pass from start to finish. Right? Doing everything for everybody else and not having time to sit to figure out what truly makes you happy. That's the thing. It can be a scary thing to even sit with that, especially because you said, look, you're pushing 50. You like, I don't went all these years. Okay, let's not judge ourselves too harshly. It just mean that this how long it took for us to learn whatever lesson that we needed to learn in order to get the boot, our own boot up our ass. This next one, who wants to answer, what past emotional wounds still shape the way I express my desires and needs?
I love to express myself, right, verbally. But I also notice that, again, it's church hurt. It all goes back to church hurt. I never in my life ever desired to be a preacher or minister, right? And then when we got to church, everybody was calling me Minister Amanda, and I was like, shoot, even when I was in church, I only knew a couple scriptures, to be honest, right? But growing up in my home, my mom always, like you were saying earlier, Priscilla, y'all come on down here and dance. My thing was they wanted me to dance, and because I always knew the latest dances, right? So we were always encouraged.
Like doing the pop.
Right. And I can only pop one side. That one left side is all I had for you, right? But I was giving it all I had. I couldn't do both. But I was killing it till my side started hurting. You know, and so but I gave it all I had. So and then I was like, oh, I enjoyed the attention. Right. So then I was like, okay. So as I began to move in that, I was like, I'm gonna step out and to modern dance. Black what was it? Another pageant, just in pageants, because I was a comedian, right? Standing up doing stand-up comedy. So I didn't have a problem being expressive until I got to church. Mm-hmm. Until I began to get picked apart. I didn't even realize I didn't have a problem standing up, speaking. Didn't know. I was just saying the same prayer I heard somebody else say and put my own spin on it because I had to do that with the being a comedian, right? Once you get in the flow, it just flows. But what I found was I never recognized jealousy. I didn't know how it showed up. Like I didn't, and I definitely didn't see it coming in church. Like, no, we all love Jesus. Like no one's going to, we're all trying to get to the pearly gates. So ain't nobody gonna be jealous. And I was getting beat up left and right and didn't even know that I was literally being picked apart till one day after I guess I had taken all that I could take and suppressed it and turned it into something else that I didn't even recognize myself. I was dumbing myself down, dimming my light, and I'll never forget, I ain't gonna say her name, but she was a pastor here in Atlanta. And we were doing a table talk for spiritual. We were doing like a commercial. And I did not know, and even if being in the hair industry, in Detroit, the saying was, if your hair's not done, that means you're a good stylist because you ain't got time to do your own hair. Right. And when we got here, I had my hair was on point, but I didn't take time to put on makeup because it was just a rough draft. Right. And I'll never forget, she said, you ain't got on a stench of makeup. Look at how you look and how everybody else look. Now, but so I'm getting ready to gut check you, but then I suppressed it because I'm in the house of the Lord. And I don't want to disrespect the woman of God. Right? So I took blows that I should have spoke up for. And then you asked me to go get your water. I got your water, boo.
Wait. What you just got the water, right?
Amanda, right?
Should gave her.
Yes.
I didn't sugar. I didn't sugar. But you know how they want that water from the Aquafina or the bottle?
Yeah.
She got it out that good old faucet. And we gonna let the Holy Ghost heal you. I had to repent. Huh?
You getting all of the medicine they put in the all the stuff they filtered. we following you though as it relates to where this is all stemming from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And still being emotionally abused, psychologically abused, and still going back looking for affirmation. So then it was like, I'm not a dumb person. When did I care two shits about what you think? But I made it about Christ when it really was about me. And me being afraid to speak because my mom used to say stuff to me and my sister. And my voice was like, I'll never forget, my mom used to call me and my sister bitches all the time. And one day she was calling me a bitch and my mind kind of went and I said, well, Mom, and it was a sincere question. I said, if we bitches, would that make you? Right? Baby, my mama hit me so hard, I think I can still taste the blood between this cheek and that one. And that would come up in me, that the shock of it would come up in me when I was talking like you don't talk to a third, even though we're the same age, we're on the same level. Matter of fact, I'm a higher up than you, right? If you want to look at the material stuff or intellectually, but because you sit in this seat, I'm gonna fall back. And I've done that so much. I overspeak here and I underspeak there. But it was never for myself.
Right.
So
those wounds came from church that was full of a whole bunch of people that when you say you want to do something or they're looking at you, it's in a judgmental way because they are looking at the things that they felt like they had to shut down in their life. You know what I'm saying? Like, they feel like they can't do this. They can't do this. They can't do this. They're not supposed to do this. So that's what they're going to put on the people. Like, just like my granddaddy said to my mother, like, I'm not shit and you ain't gonna be shit either. So no, you're not about to sing with Diana Ross. My daddy ain't let me do what I want to do, and I'm not about to let you do what you want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's sad, you know, to say, but that's exactly, you know, some things that be jumping off.
What you now realize, you know, is the real teaching, and it's about, you know, you having a more intimate relationship with yourself in order for you to honor and revere source in that way. And you know, as you move in that, when people do see you and either they're intimidated, the mirror that you become for some, if the reflection that they now view makes them really look at themselves, and it begins to expose some things that they haven't been moving in ethically, and then it makes them feel some kind of way to cause them to react, you know, in a way that's not respectful to you. I'm more than sure that, you know, spirit could lead you in that and show you and let you know, like, either I really do need to check that, or I need to check that in a way, right, where it's in love and break somebody down and make them even look at themselves even deeper. You following what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know what it's like to walk into a room, walk into a space, and my light is shining so bright that I make so many people uncomfortable. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with me. It got everything to do with the people that's uncomfortable. They uncomfortable. That mean that's them. If you walk in a room, let your light shine bright. It don't matter who get uncomfortable. It's your light. It's up to them for them to remember theirs. That's all it is. We're coming into a remembrance. Don't you know who you are? If not, you're gonna find out. Definitely gonna find out. And I'm grateful for everybody that came here tonight, that gave us y'all time, that gave us y'all vulnerability, coming together and healing in this space of community. We went even deeper this week than what we went last week, and I feel like that it's just gonna get deeper and deeper and deeper. And I just want to I'm gonna say some things about the course, but before I do, I just want to end this with prayer. So if for the ones that can, if you could just bow your head and close your eyes, we get ready to do the closing prayer. We close this sacred circle with gratitude. Remember to embrace the next phase of our journey. We're ready. To the divine spirit of all, spirits of light, and the ancestors who have guided us through this sacred work, we honor the emotions that we have touched, the truths that we have spoken, and the creativity we have awakened. As we step forward, may we carry this energy into our daily lives, allowing ourselves to feel, to create, and to express without fear or limitation. May the waters within us remain fluid, washing away resistance and nourishing our divine power. As we prepare to journey deeper into the realm of the solar plexus chakra, where we reclaim our confidence and ignite our inner fires. May we walk in truth. May we move in harmony. May we remain open to the wisdom of our soul. Ashe, Aho.
Ashe, Aho.
Remember that, on Monday, we starting the solar plexus chakra. Don't play with it this week, y'all. Go in, go deep, look deep into y'all eyes in that portal and talk to y'all self-esteem, right? Without judgment. If you feel something, you know what it's like to feel. We was just here all in our feelings this week. Feel that shit. Feel it. That's what we're here to do. Trigger it. Because how can you move past it or become free from that thing if you're not aware that it even exists? We have to become aware that it exists so that we can move through it.
I just want to thank everybody for being vulnerable. I was getting all kind of downloads, straight up. That like I said, the oneness I felt you all's experiences. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
We all understand probably even more how powerful feminine energy really is, right? And you said becoming a woman this week. Like, I know, like, when you said it, this shit sounds really funny, like coming from a dude. It's like, I was a woman this week. But in essence, when we tap more into the feminine as men, and you begin to balance that thing, yeah, you begin to will a power that you didn't lean on while simply just moving in the masculine. The masculine can have you banging your head up against the wall. And the feminine flows. The feminine bends and can, curve and create. This is where we come from. That darkness, that dark place that Lauren was talking about, man, this feels dark, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's evil or it's wrong. We all came from the womb. We came from the dark place. That was the tunnel. We had to come from the darkness even to enter into this realm.
Yes.
And so it's powerful. We see it etched in everything throughout the universe within this realm. We see that feminine energy imprinted on plants and leaves and blades of grass. You could look at just look around. Like if you was to look, on the wall and see the paintings, if you start to look closer, you might begin to see the expansionness of just that feminine energy, man. So I do appreciate you guys again. And Alex, yeah, you hit that shit right on the head. It's like, it's powerful. And so
That started with you suggesting the book that Brandon just confirmed recently. Yes, The Way of the Superior Man. And it started there. Masculine views the feminine in two forms. The one that's within the masculine, that's how it's represented in the world through him. That's how he views the world. And then his woman is how he views the world within her.
Yes.
So she is his world, that is his world within himself.
Yes.
And
the reflection.
That's how I feel like we are all reflections, as we keep repeating, but to really nail it, that this whole universe, this whole thing is just for you. You are alone. This is all thing is just for you, and all of us, we are reflections of each other, and we pick which one to reflect upon.
Yeah.
And this is what makes it so freaking awesome.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I just want to,
Yeah, this is incredible.
I just want to end it
Thank
with
you.
this balance of the masculine, balance of the feminine. Because yes, we can be over here talking about I'm manifesting and I'm frolicking through the tulips and I'm flying through the air on crystals and sparkles and shit is just manifesting, right? Because that's what we really want to happen, right? But we gonna have to put in some of that logical masculine energy work behind it.
Oh yeah.
Right. So it's about finding the correct balance for that. And the fact that, you know, Alex said that he was a woman this week, it's cool. And it's cool because I can guarantee that every male on here has been a female at some point in some life. And every female on here did not reincarnate as a female every time. We're male and female. So I just wanted to end with that. Thank y'all for y'all time and love y'all. And
Yes.
I will see y'all next week.
Wow. I know. Her little two-step on the couch.
Y'all on the East Coast, take y'all to bed.
I'm about to go hit roll in a minute.
Okay, there it is.
Good night, y'all. Love y'all. Peace.
Oh, hit bro.
Bye.
Good night, y'all.
Coco,
Good
Angie,
night.
Good night.
Saniqua. Good
Bye.
night. Good night.
Bye, Serena.
Bye-bye. Good night.
See you, Saniqua.